Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Monday morning devotion. Hope you guys had a blessed Sunday. I'm just going to kind of keep it short and sweet. This morning, I'm going to read a proverb and then just kind of talk about something that deals with every person. If you're a Christian or a non-Christian, it really doesn't matter. We're all affected by this. Our relationships are affected by this. And so anyways, it's out of Proverbs chapter 18. In verse 17, it says, "The one who states his case first seems right until the other comes and examines him." And I think a lot of times what happens with us is, we'll hear something from somebody. We'll maybe a friend or a family member or a coworker, whatever, and about somebody else, and we start to form judgments, right? And because we respect people, maybe we respect that friend or whatever, we just assume that that person is telling us the truth, that person is right. And the reality is, they're probably not going to intentionally lie to us. But I think we need to remember that inside of every person is selfishness. Inside of every person is sin, is brokenness. And that taints how we look at things, even our judgments and our assessments. And so oftentimes what can happen is that when somebody's hurt by something and they go to their friends or they go to their family members and they have assessed their hurt a certain way, they then give that narrative to us, and because they're our friends, we automatically side with them because we like them, right? The problem is if those assessments are tainted with their own emotional scars, we then become participants or victims unintentionally of their narrative, and then we grab onto that as if it's fact and truth, and we spread that as well. And that's when you start to run into things like gossip and slander and different things. And so what this proverb is saying is, look, one man seems right until the other comes and examines him. In other words, there's two sides to every story. And one of the things I've found that's really prevalent is we tend to think or live this idea that we have both sides of the story, even if both sides are told from one side. Let me say that again. If you don't have both sides of a story, if both sides of the story are told from one side, right? We have a responsibility to protect our own heart and guard our own heart. And so what we want to make sure is, before we ever render a judgment in our heart on a situation or a person, that if we have the opportunity to have both sides as told from each individual, then that's a guarding of ourselves, right? Because we can look at the other person and we can hear their heart, and we can hear maybe the inconsistencies in our friend's story, and it actually protects us and it helps us to be more level-headed. In that same proverb, it says in verse 13, if one gives an answer before he hears, it's folly and shame to him. And that's obvious, because if we rush to a judgment and we don't know the whole matter, we're the ones that actually look silly. And so here's what that means practically. I just want to encourage you guys with something. You're going to interact with life, and you're going to run into friends and family members and different people that are going to tell you things. You can nod, you can, that's interesting. Be careful not to throw all of your support behind a narrative that you don't have the other side, because that side may seem just until the other side comes and examines them. And how often, when we have heard the other side of the story, we kind of feel a little foolish. We're like, oh man, I wish I wouldn't have rushed to judgment. So anyway, take that, meditate on that today, guard your heart, because when we become sour towards something or somebody, man, it's really hard to undo that. So I hope you guys have a blessed day, and serve the Lord. God bless you guys.